beating the Chinese teams. Some people just, for fun, they started, okay, hey, it's okay, Nirvana, they're the China Slayers.
A few little bit surprises that we had yesterday, quite a few upsets. OK Nirvana International managing to beat two Chinese teams in a row, beating out Taidu and OK Nirvana Xi'an. They're currently on the roll now, and Chinese teams are not unbeatable. But on the other hand, eHome are just proving that they have been the strongest out of the four Chinese teams, having a clean 3-0 record. They are the favorites to win the whole tournament. So they come in with a confidence that they've won 7 championships already. It's always a little bit national pride at stake. So of course they want to prove that Chinese Zelda are a little bit above the rest. Chinese teams are not unbeatable. But on the other hand, eHome are just proving that they have been the strongest out of the four Chinese teams, having a clean 3-0 record. They are the favorites to win the whole tournament. So they come in with a confidence that they've won 7 championships already.
But how good can they be? And then we played eHome, who won the tournament without losing a single match. They just crushed everything.
eHome finished the year as the best team in history of Dota.
They were just on a totally different level. They had their manager sitting behind them. He was making their calls. He was running around with this little black book. And they were the first team I heard of who did that.
The eHome manager copying down the draft, doing the prep work. He was their coach. There was a great interview that was done, and it lined up all the top European captains who attended, and the topic was eHome.
If you want to have it be good, you don't need to invite Chinese teams because they're too strong.
So eHome won. What do you think of the Chinese guys?
I never felt this outplayed in my entire life.
It's unbelievable how good they are. The timing, the design.
They're really in control of the game, the whole game, and they keep this control all the time. This is really crazy to see, actually.
是因为我们在任何国际赛场的时候，所有的国外战队的经理和队员看到我们的时候，全体都会大声的喊eHome。你知道那是一个多么壮观的场面吗？这是一个故事，是一个风俗，就是当大家看到eHome的时候，他们就自然而然的认为王者要入场了。
During this trip to the international, it's actually the same period as my exam periods. So I treated it as a sacrifice that I have to make for the team and for myself. And I find that when it comes to pursuing your passions, it's really up to you to decide if it's worth the sacrifice.
When they're having an exam, they not allow him to leave the school. So I told him already, I said, mind yourself.
Setting out a career in gaming is risky. It's very risky. Because the examinations actually clash with the competition, and missing the exams without a proper explanation, the school didn't recognize the Dota competition as a valid reason. It's kind of breaking school rules.
And the school is very determined to stop him from pursuing his chance of going for this contest. So I think this has created a big stress for the family.
Give this mother very headache, It's quite difficult for us to pull him out right now, I think. He's so adamant about it. So that's why when he told me he's going to August, I said, then how about your school exam? What are you going to do?
I think my mother, she was kind of at her limits, telling me about how much gaming has been weighing me down. That was really the talk where I really opened my heart and I shared with her my passion for the game and how much I believe that my team actually has the potential to win, to be the best in the world. So we are stopping at nothing less than first. This is how I try to put it across to my mom. By giving up so much to come here, I have absolute confidence in my team that we will win.
All right, the draft is underway. eHome, they will select up their heroes. Sites will start selecting theirs. Looking now at both the teams, it looks like eHome, they're feeling relaxed, while Scythe, they're eager. They're all gathering around HY to pick.
If you have a losing draft, you will lose again. This is what I think of Dota. So it's really a lot on drafting.
Drafting is where two captains will select what they want to play with, what heroes are selected and what heroes are taken out. You can select 5 heroes out of a pool of over 100, and you can also remove 4 of those heroes. So 4 heroes you think your opponent will want to use, you can remove.
Before any game, any match, we will decide our band and picks according to which team we are fighting. Usually we would come up with a very impromptu strategy to try and fight their threat. Yeah, you really have to spend a lot of time thinking of the draft. The draft actually decides a lot of the game itself.
eHome, they're a team with so much experience. They already know the way they want to roll this one out. The only thing that's really going to make it or break it for them is if they can get their execution right.
In that particular matchup, we felt that we needed something that could instill the fear in them.
And Tiny looks to be the last pick up here from Scythe. Bit of an interesting pick up there by Scythe. It's going to start to change around their lanes completely now.
With Tiny, it is good as a surprise strat. If another team doesn't realise where he fits,
they want to roll this one out. The only thing that's really going to make it or break it for him is if they can get their execution right. He's moving away, but no, HY. He just turns around and just pops the leader. I want to point out right now that eHome, they are not. Tiny looks to be the last pick up here from Scythe. Interesting pick up there by Scythe's going to start to change around their lanes completely now.
You know that everyone is at home watching the game. They have their hopes pinned on you, and I feel that there's so much at stake.
And they should be able to clean it up right now. Tiny, he's going to toss, he's going to launch, and he definitely gets the kill. We've got 3-5-7 getting nailed out there. Nature's Bradford going to get the last in it as well. This is the entire team down for eHome. This is GG. This is now a double rack, at least. eHome, they're going to disconnect. We have our first winners bracket finalists. Scythe will advance. eHome will drop down into the losers bracket, and Scythe will now finish up this game.
The 1 million is 1 million. That's a lot. It's gonna make my time playing this game all worth it. Do you think smoking would do me any good?
Yeah. When did you start smoking?
2 years back. 2 years back. Bad move.
That seems to coincide with when you and your ex-girlfriend broke up.
On bad terms. Feels like she's moved on already. Back then when she was playing the game, it felt like we had something we shared. Yeah, but right now it's like, I think she's following this event, but probably this event's big. I hope I will get to make a phone call. Yeah. Finally, I'll have something I'm proud of to tell her about. Finally.
When you played the Russians and the Ukrainians, they were just the unpredictable teams. I had no idea what the Russians were thinking. That was their best weapon.
Oh, we're having fun. We trying to relax. We're trying to scare our opponent. Mind games. I turn off my brain in the way of being scary of someone.
One of the things I really admire about him is how he hasn't really had an easy life, but he's always so upbeat. He's always so cheerful.
When he first came on the Dota scene, he looked like a 12-year-old boy. Everyone was just like, who is this kid? There's no way you could take this guy seriously. And then he would destroy you in games.
Как-то я видела, показали даже где-то в интернете, как он работает с клавиатурой. И это действительно завораживает. Я думаю, что Данилу, может быть, и где-то пригодилась его игра на фортепиано, потому что руки у него совершенно потрясающие.
He can make really good moves. His moves, I think, are unique, and they might win you the game. But he wants to rely completely on skill. He wants like an enemy against him, and he wants to kill him through skill, nothing more. He wants to win the game. His disadvantage is that he doesn't have patience. He wants to make those moves.
He can get a little bit too silly in games. He will try new and different things. He will overextend in team fights because he believes he can get the kill.
And his impatience can go too far and he might lose the game for us.
Oh, Fury, he's going to go in. This should be the first blood. They got the sprout on Sanjing as well. There's probably going to be a double. Denny's ulti. It hits. Dandy, no, he cannot be. This is Dandy through and through. Starts with a Hex, goes to Cold Snap. He locks him in place. Weaver, really close to death, manages to time lash back out again. Dandy will TP back to safety. So GG being called by IG Na'Vi. They will take the game. Our winners bracket finalists are going to be Na'Vi versus Scythe.
Most teams that you see that have the most fan bases are full nationality. Our team is all spread out across the world.
He does have it a little harder than us because he doesn't really have this human support that we do.
The hardest thing I had to really deal with in my life is just trying to convince my family about my gaming career. It's really, really difficult, especially when you start out slow, but you know there's a future for something and you put a lot of time in, and they keep telling you, like, you should probably get a real job. Well, I was born in the Los Angeles district in Lancaster, California. I lived there with my dad and my mom. Around 2 years old, my dad left my mom. He didn't really say anything. He just packed up and left. She's had to raise us both while going to law school at the same time.
It wasn't real easy as far as just got out of law school, didn't have a job, had huge student loans to pay back. This job came up, and so we moved here on our own. So I've been raising them by myself ever since.
So this is a photo album that I made for Clinton for as he was growing up. I put pictures in it as we went along.
My sons were both really active into sports and they wanted to do a lot, so I had to limit them. They could choose 2 per season. That was maximum for me, being able to get them to practice and go watch their games. And that was tough. And Clinton sitting on Santa's lap, his brother Santa.
My brother is more angry at my father for leaving than I am. He thinks about him. He gets upset. Compared to me, I just block him out and, pretend it doesn't exist.
Oh, Clinton already starting video games here.
He was sitting at his house, playing Dota, doing it competitively, had a sponsor team and everything like that. But I think that's when it probably started getting on his mom's nerves.
I have a crazy sleeping schedule. I'm on a European team, so sometimes I have to stay up at pretty ridiculous hours or wake up at ridiculous hours. So the standard day for me is not so standard.
All the nights he'd be up except the dog would be up too with him, and that would keep her awake most of the nights, and this is kind of where the tension got pretty high.
This went on for years, and it came to the point where I just told him, I said, you know what, you just need to go somewhere else.
So I got kicked out of my house because of my gaming career, basically.
When Clinton first moved in here, he was looking for a desk, and there wasn't anything in the room, and I'd have a lot of stuff that we're getting ready to take to the dump. And Clinton went out there, and he came back in with this green desk, and he goes, "This is perfect."
So I didn't have a monitor, so I went to my friend, and he had a spare CRT monitor, so I got that. And then, obviously, I have 2 books here to punch that up so I can actually see the monitor, so it's kind of a ghetto setup. Even when I go to competitions, I don't think I play any differently on the nice setups compared to this one.
Clinton's like the Rocky Balboa of Dota. He's definitely one of the first big U.S. players, and honestly, I didn't even know he was that big.
In the North American scene, there weren't many good American players known back then. Everybody respected Fear.
A lot of the people I knew, they quit the game, you know, they moved on, stuff like that, but I stuck with it, so I ended up being like one of the oldest players.
With all of his years of experience and all of his constant commitment to the game, he's really shown that he doesn't give up.
Growing up without my father, I think, in the end, like, not having someone there to teach me, you know, the guy side and having a father to help you up, I think that has actually probably made me, like, the person who I am today. You know, I just make sure everything's running smoothly on the team. I kind of play like the father figure, I guess.
As a captain, I guess he felt he had that responsibility as well. And he was like pretty much my mentor. He did tell me one time, like, if you need someone to talk to, you know, he would be here. So I kind of see him as a Dota brother.
I've never had an ego, like thinking I'm better than anyone else. I'm always there willing to help people who are new to the scene. And that's always been kind of my role in the game. I'm just helping players get up for the most part.
Fear actually broke me into the scene, you know? It's very hard to get yourself out there. I mean, back then I was kind of like a fanboy of him, you know, watching his games and whatnot, and he gave me a shot to play at a high level.
I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for fear. I can guarantee you that.
Going into the match, we were all thinking MUFC didn't do so well earlier, but
if we lost that game, we wouldn't win anything, so it was a high-risk game.
36 minutes in, almost a 7,000 gold advantage in favor of MUFC.
Towards the end of the game, we made a couple mistakes that put two heroes on the sideline for us, and they had all five still up and decided that they were going to go for a throne.
we were really close to losing our throne. It's below 20% HP.
An online kingdom, they are so close to the point of getting eliminated from this tournament.
We just needed to do something. I ran in first, and then they all went on me instead of focusing on the throne, which is good.
Again by Silver Cross, Fear. He's trying to retreat. He turns into a pig. How the hell is he still alive? They push MUFC back.
We made this huge comeback where we killed all of the heroes, started pushing.
Silver Cross is down. Morphling, he's out of this. The top ranks will go. There is no way now that MUFC can come back, but it will be Online Kingdom eliminating MUFC. What an incredible...
Our whole team just went crazy.
Leading Online Kingdom to do the impossible. I've never seen anything like that. And stay tuned, we'll be back here for more exciting gameplay coming up.
Skiche. We are 2008 ESWC winners. One of the best Asian teams, but we don't afraid them. We're gonna fight them. I don't know about my teammates, but I don't feel scary at all. I feel like I want to crush my enemy. That's how I feel. That's it.
Welcome to the winners bracket final, where Scythe goes up against Na'Vi. The winner gets a slot in the grand final.
The crowds were all cheering for them, and their draft was very scary. We were like caught off by surprise, but we were like, we got to win this, man. We got to win this and show them who's boss.
Scythe have managed to take all the best players from Singapore and put them in their lineup. You know, Na'Vi, they look cool, calm and collective. They know exactly what they've got to do. It all comes down to gameplay right now. And I got to say, like, Na'Vi's lineup, it is not unbeatable. So now they're going to look for the initiation and possible kill. HY is going to get caught. Now bottom lane, held in place. Sven's done. No, Sven will go down here. Light of Heaven, he's helping out, but then he gets the last hit. Na'Vi are dominating this final. Now Na'Vi, they're going to take the chance here. They're going to go in for the GG, and GG is the call from HY first. Na'Vi are already off their computers. They're not even sticking around. They've got the GG. Na'Vi are into the grand finals and will play for the $1 million. Scythe go down. They will face the winner.
We just lost our confidence match against Na'Vi.
It was actually quite a blow to us.
The game was really the turning point for me, because I actually learned that in life you can only trust yourself actually. Not in the sense that you can't trust people, but yeah, like I said, the ones who will never let you down is yourself.
Within the gaming world, I'd like to be the first place. You know, it's like I'm following in behind my mother's footsteps, basically. She worked really hard to get where she is, and I kind of want to be the same way. I want to work hard for whatever I do. For me, I mean, I've never really had a dad, so if I had any questions about anything, the person that I was most comfortable talking to was my mom. She definitely had the most influence on my life. When she comes home from work, she's always, anxious to bring up the subject, how she, won a big case. And I'm always proud of her when she wins these big cases because I know it means a lot to her. I mean, in the back of my head, I'm always like, if I do well and if I win this tournament, I'll finally be able to prove, I'm getting something out of this.
We're looking now over towards the grid, and whoever wins this match will be facing up against eHome, but whoever will lose it is going to be eliminated already. eHome, they're looking really strong.
We had the stronger lake in here. It's the better team fight. Just all we had to do was just control the pushes.
Kingdom, they're split! The stun on Xander, they'll splash as well. They're going to claim a windrunner, will they? Yes, they do. It's 2-0 for Online Kingdom. Moscow 5, not the start they wanted, but Online Kingdom having a...
We were so close to winning until some few mistakes that occurred in the late game.
They might go now. There's 4 heroes standing right next to each other. The timing is wrong. It looks a little...
There's communication almost because we're an international team, so I think full nationality teams have an advantage over most teams.
Almost there. Big try. Fear's in trouble though. He shackles and Lacoste is in. He cast his ulti as well.
And it just fell apart from there.
They just slowly beat us down. Eventually they just broke our base and took every single one of our axes.
Right place. This is really hurting Online Kingdom. They've lost 3. Enigma popped. The team is wiped for Online Kingdom. The base will be taken. And Moscow 5 will now play eHome and advance in the tournament. Now, Online Kingdom, they are out. So much promise. It didn't happen in the end for Fear and the rest of Online Kingdom. And it will be Moscow 5 that will advance.
I think everybody on the team was very emotional. I could only imagine how he was feeling.
Some people take it more personally and they give everything to win.
It was very satisfying knowing that we reached that top 8, but he had better expectations for our team and we'd come a long way, and it's all thanks to Fear.
If you don't go as far as you thought you were going to be, I guess you end up in tears or something.
All of us are really disappointed, but I guess that's just how it goes. When I get back home, I need to make a big decision in my life, just the benefits of playing Dota professionally, how much I can make from it, and how much time I really need to put in it to be 100%. So the only way I would ever do that is if I move in with my teammates and have a training house with them, so I know for sure we're all dedicated.
I think things happen for a reason, and when things happen, you just do your best and continue going forward with it. I mean, deep down inside, I know this career is going to work out for me in the end.
冠军的争夺者，而我们中国战队呢，我也是非常的希望，也相信能从我们的败者组杀回来。目前来看的话，很可能前3强将会是由 Navi、Cf 以及我们中国战队的一支，我个人是希望是eHome。
那么感性上来说呢，肯定是eHome，我们自己中国的战队又是一个老牌的战队。
Turning him into a pig. They need to get this kill. The stun. The weevil waits. It's a little piglet. And it's dead. Slide. A 2-0. He's almost dead. Burrow strike. Epicenter. 3-5-7. It's a double kill by the Weaver. eHome. They'll lose FCP as well. Moscow 5. Casualties of war. Holy hell.
在中国，这个游戏已经是相当的职业化。
他们有一个成绩上的压力，他们如果不拿中国战队如果不拿到成绩的话，或者输给国外队的话，国人会给他们质疑，也会造成很多。
Now Lyon though's going to find Tim, frogs him up. Fingers already started there, so Stump Knock in a lot of trouble. Really caught out of position. Naomi will fly in, but hits on nothing. Mania with the SK ultimate.
这是形成中国打世界的局面。这本来就是我的本职工作，如果拿冠军的话是应该的。我告诉他们，如果你来这里就是来拿冠军的，我每天都会跟他们说，我们一定要做到这件事，我们必须要做到这件事。传统是除了冠军奖杯以外，剩下奖杯都疯狂回弹，对，他们直接扔机场。
PLT support T being in FCB gets the first time. Misery overcommits on the top lane.
Misery
wants the tower, but PLT's had enough of this. FCB! What a time for a frog! Misery will pop!
但是他们看我们打的比赛，他们就觉得根本就赢不了我们。
This is where my dad works. For as long as I remember, man. He's doing the logistics for the company here. So it involves the shipping of the containers from one place to another. When I was younger, he used to work like 15 to 16 hours a day. He's pretty much given up on everything else in his life. He's always made it clear to me that, I should focus on my life, focus on my studies so as to not follow in his footsteps. He doesn't want me to, be slogging as hard as he is right now. But, the chance to be the best in the world at something, you don't get it much in life.
My son say, he working at this Dota. We spend a lot of time, he get nothing. For me, it's very disappointing. Never go to school, he want to play computer. Then morning, sleep. Then computer until the next day morning, then he sleep. The whole day at least 15 hours at computer there. It's life. My son's life is like that. For me, I hold up my son to study more. Don't let me never study. When I young, I also same as Han Yong. Always spend a lot of time to play. But now I also regret why don't study. But now hoping my son continue to study education better than me. This is my hope lah.
For each try, I think it was a great choice, a brilliant choice, because he was confident that we could have won. It's an opportunity that you shouldn't miss out.
So get ready, sign in, log in, play around just a little bit, and then join the lobby in about 4 minutes.
It's a once in a lifetime chance. If you miss it, it might be gone forever. You might not experience it again.
And we have a rematch. eHome versus Scythe. eHome facing up against a team who forced them into the lower bracket.
The psychological pressure is immense, especially upon the drafter, because he is the one who is in the end responsible for the team's picks.
It's an animation SF. It's an animation SF. That's what I think
Shadow Fiend. Alrighty, then it's HY is SF. Everyone knows how to counter a Shadow Fiend. It's a very bold pickup here by Scythe. The fact that if Scythe win the early game, they're going to gain so much momentum, but if they don't, then eHome will basically roll themselves into the grand final. HY, BKB's going to wear off pretty soon, and Benjamin's a great strike. HY dead. In again, and he wants XY, catches up to him, and he brings him down.
Come out!
Gee, he cogs! Joey, he wants to leave, but there's just no mana. He gets it. If he can pop off an ulti like that, he doesn't really have to reveal himself to his opponent. He can really just initiate. Oh, there he goes! HY just managed to pop off an ult, but Earthshaker is already dead. A2O really gunning for HY. They're already 3 gone. Main gate 4. There's a double kill for the anti-mage, and they're headed for the tower right now. There is a GG. Good game called by HY. Scythe have had enough now. eHome will advance. The Chinese hopes will stay alive as they will go up against Na'Vi with a 1-game disadvantage. The main stars of this tournament, they haven't dropped a single game, and now eHome are going to see if they can take
The first placing was very important to me. And to add on to that, my studies was also at the same time affected by everything. So everything was related. When everything comes falling down at the same time, it's quite hard to handle. Things are all changed. So you got to plan your life again, all over again. I've learned a lot.
You got to realize your flaws. That's the toughest part, I feel. I don't do things as well alone. So if you try to do everything by yourself, it's not gonna be possible, you know.
I'm actually a believer of fate, and I told myself that winning isn't necessary because there are so many more things in life. How you take care of the people you love. I think that's a very big thing, you know. That's a very important thing. It's the most important thing ever.
Issues, guys. Issues. I just woke up. It's not fair. My haircut still crazy. No, but I don't care. Okay, I have everything with me. Let's go.
We are now at the final day of the International Dota 2 Championships. It is Na'Vi. They have a 1-game advantage, sitting very, very sweetly in the grand final. Who will get a shot at the $1 million?
Na'Vi was running the same strategy the whole time, and no one seemed to be able to counter it.
Na'Vi loves pushing from minute 10 and trying to end the game at minute 15. Those strategies are very sensitive because if you fail even once, it can become a very difficult game for you. eHome has been known for how well they defend their base. So if there was a team that could stop Na'Vi's push, it would be eHome.
And let's get this game underway. The players will start to pick up their heroes with $1 million at stake. Na'Vi will need to win 2. eHome will need to win 3.
Running a very, very old school strategy with 3 core heroes, eHome managed to survive Na'Vi's onslaught early.
It's all on Dandy. PLT TP'd himself in. Dandy on the retreat. Back out to the tower. Will he get himself away? X, yes, there it is. Last hit, 357. The Venomancer brings down Dandy in the middle.
Every time we see Dandy perform, he's always playing very well, and he usually doesn't lose his lanes.
So Dandy, like his impatience